Hello everybody, how is it going? I hope everything is fine. Today we are going to do this problem, solution and advice reading. I know some people are quite into that, and I also like to do those kind of readings because it gives me some kind of a perspective. Okay, I have some stones. They're just pebbles, but I think it's okay. I'm going to talk about cards more, of course, but first let's hear something from our sponsor. I felt like using our sponsor Keen again. Actually, I'm really interested with the readers. I like how you can select the mood and the topic for your reading and how they provide the right kind of reader. Keen is a great network for psychics, readers, and spiritual advisors. For all of your questions, you can have a right kind of reader that you can actually get aligned with. And alignment is the key. We talked about that before. Keen readers and advisors can provide great deal of clarity for many topics. Also, Keen provides great options for conversations like phone calls or text, whatever you prefer, which is really good, by the way. Sometimes you just don't want to talk to people on the phone, am I right? Am I the only one? I don't know. And I feel like asking some questions reading aloud today because, let's be honest, why not? Let me remind you that you can get your first 10 minutes for only $199, and it can make you save up to $99 in general. This is a great starting point for the readings like these. Just create your account and try it out for yourself. Of course, you can find the link at the description box and as the first comment on the video. If you're looking for a good psychic for a really good reading, you can check the link with my name. Thanks again to Keen for sponsoring this part of the video. You guys are here with my new pebbles. My mom brought them to me. I put a little shine on them. You can pick from one of those. This is number 1, this is number 2, and number 3. I will give you enough of time so you guys can actually meditate. And then I will start with this one. Hello number 1, how is it going? I hope everything is fine. Today we are going to look at the problem and the solution and advice. If you don't feel like this is your problem, or if you don't feel like, oh no, I can deal with that, this is not a problem at all, pick something else. But this is talking about something general. I think you should watch it. Just saying. I picked your cards beforehand, and I will put 2 cards for the problems first. Page of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. As the problem, I have a feeling somebody wronged you in one way, or you put too much negativity on yourself. It could happen in that way too. I will talk about both of them. Sometimes you would like to do something. You have this feeling, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. I know that it is going to be amazing, and you're so hyped up and you're talking about it to the people that you like. You tell them what you feel and they are not really interested as much as you are, and you feel like a little disappointed, a little heartbroken even, because they don't see the things that you see, and maybe they don't believe in you. Maybe you feel like that. Maybe they do, but you feel like that. You would like to do something, but they let you down one way or another. Or maybe, just maybe, they promise that they're going to help you with one thing, and when the time comes for the responsibility, they run away and you have to deal with everything by yourself. This is like a group activity at the college, like one person has to deal with everything. It feels like that. Or you have, for example, maybe you have a child with someone and that person says all the good things. Okay, I will be there for you guys and I will take care of my child and everything, but the real responsibility shows up and this person is not there. Some kind of a let down, some kind of a disappointment over some people. Something like that might actually happen, or maybe it happened already. Or the second case, you feel like no matter what you have, no matter what you do, is not going to be enough. Mostly about love relationships, okay? If you like somebody, you feel like that person is not going to look at you. If you feel like You already know this person, you have some kind of a communication, but this person is just going to see you as a friend. You don't believe in yourself in one way or another. You are alone in something, The general message here is that you are alone in something and it is bothering you. And some people are taking advantage of like all the good things that you can do. Like, for example, you say, you know what, I can deal with this thing. I can handle this thing. I will do it for you. And they just take advantage of that. And when the time comes to just like be grateful or they have to do something for that, they disappear. You have to find a balance in your life that you are not doing too much, of course. I'm going to speak about the solutions by the cards, not just giving my own advice, of course, but you feel like it shouldn't happen in this way. You feel like you have to do something about this thing. You feel like you are the one who is responsible for this disappointment. Even though you are the one who is disappointed, you feel like you put yourself in this position. And I think it is wrong. I think it is wrong. Because the feeling of the cards are saying that you shouldn't be alone in this thing. From the minute, like you shouldn't be alone in this thing. But you were. Let's see your solution. 4 of Cups. And Ace of Wands. Alright. 4 of Cups is most of the time is talking about like uninspired or feeling bored or not enjoying other people's company. Sometimes it talks like being self-absorbed. And I have to tell you this, just because in the cards, maybe you think too much. You think too much of a situation. And you think that you're supposed to be the one who has to do those kind of things because others cannot do. Maybe you're just putting too much thought on you and what you can do. I am not saying you are over-exaggerating your own talents and your own abilities, but I think there's a negative impact that you feel like you have to be the one who is doing everything and the rest is just like they are not even the real people. They're just like the side characters in a game. I think you are underestimating the power of the other people. I think you are underestimating or not being really hopeful about what other people can do. And you're right in that thing, don't get me wrong, because people wronged you before. People promised and they didn't do. They didn't deliver the things that they're supposed to do. And you feel like you have to deal with everything by yourself. But here's the thing, since because those cards are here as like the solution, this being self-absorbed or this being like I have to be the one who has to deal with everything is not really a bad solution for this specific moment. Relying on yourself and focusing on what you have in front of you is going to be really good enough to solve any kind of a problem at this specific moment. I'm not talking for like a real long term, okay? It can change. However, you have to remember this. It is not just because you're doing it because you are not trusting other people and those people are just like not really good kind of people and you are alone in this thing. You have to change the tone of it. You have to change it by saying things like, I have my own standards when it comes to people. I know what to expect from people. Until that point, I would rather to be alone and I'm going to deal with this thing by myself because I know I can do that. It's not like I have to deal with everything by myself because people are shit. No, it is more like I'm capable of doing this until I actually see somebody that I can trust. There's a perspective. You have to figure it out by yourself, yes. But this figuring it out by yourself or dealing with the things by yourself is not like an obligation. It's supposed to be like a security net for you. I can do it by myself, but let's see what you can do in the future, for example. You have to create that kind of a security for yourself. It's a little bit like avoidant attachment style. Do you know anything about that? It is saying that, I can regulate my own things, my own feelings and everything. I don't need you. But it doesn't mean that I don't want you in my life. It has that kind of the feeling. I'm sure some other people can actually talk about it in a better way. But here's the thing. Most of the time, we feel like we have to deal with everything by ourselves in a really negative tone, or you are feeling let down. However, it is not always like that. You can do it by yourself and you can actually expect for the best. You don't have to be bored. You don't have to feel the disappointment. You don't have to feel like you are being let down. You are not supposed to feel the FOMO. I don't know, anything negative. You shouldn't feel like that. Sometimes doing the things alone is the best solution, honestly. It doesn't mean that you have to be alone. No, don't get me wrong. But being capable of dealing with everything by yourself and not expecting anything from the false friends, for example, is a really good thing. I think you're going to see the difference between the nice people and the bullshitters. You're going to see that some people are not really being honest with you, and you are going to cut them down and you will say, I would do this by myself, rather than being just fooled by you guys again. For argument's sake, let's say this is just a love-related situation and you like somebody and you're not so sure about that person, if they like you or not, okay? You're supposed to be the one who is starting the conversation, not that person. And I talk about it quite often in this channel because not only for this channel, but I have seen so many times that people are just like waiting and waiting and waiting and they don't see any kind of a result because they don't do anything by themselves. They don't take any action by themselves. It was like that at the coffee cup days of mine. I mean, how many people were just like sitting down and waiting for the people they like to show up one day miraculously and say, oh my God, how blind I was. You are the love of my life. They are expecting something like that. Honestly, it shouldn't happen in that way. Now let's come to the advice. You have the Empress. Okay. And you have the Judgment. How intriguing. Sometimes those two together is talking about a single mom. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you're going to be a single mom or anything, okay? It's just like the energy of a single mom. The single moms are the true heroes. They can deal with everything. They don't do it with like an obligation. They do it for the love of their child. The feeling of it, do you know? Of course, they're feeling a lot of disappointment maybe. Or they don't want to see their child is having some kind of a lack in their life. And they are trying to overcompensate that most of the time. And sometimes it can create like a negative impact in their lives. But a single mom is a strong person who can deal with everything by themselves. If there's any kind of a necessity, they are the ones who are going to take care of it. And they have this power. And they are just not abusing it. They are trying to be careful about what they are doing with their children. This is talking about doing the things by yourself and taking the pride of it. Be honest with yourself. Do you need other people to do this thing? Do you want other people in this thing? If you don't feel like other people are doing really great job and you feel like you can do so much better, this is your solution and this is your advice. It could be like a monetary thing, honestly, I have to say that. But for argument's sake, this is like a general thing and you feel like you're being let down by the friends, by your social circle, by your family, by your lovers, whatever, you name it. Do you really need them? You are capable of doing everything by yourself. And when you do those kind of things by yourself, it is going to be remarkable. But again, I have to say you this. Again, this is at this specific moment. It doesn't have to be like this for the rest of your life. It doesn't have to be like you have to be alone for the rest of your life. No, everything is going to happen in this way and that's all. No, don't get me wrong. At this specific moment, at this specific thing, you have to be the one who is in charge. And when you feel that power, which you have, by the way, you are going to be the empress. You are going to be good at what you're doing. So in love, you have to take charge. In family, you have to take charge. In money, you have to take charge. And stop feeling disappointed by the things that you look and you see that there's nothing else but disappointment. Of course, when you just look at something as a failure, it is going to be a failure. But you have to just like, okay, no more from that shit. I don't want that thing. I will focus on what I have now. With that kind of an approach, you will do really, really good. That's what I saw for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, number 2. How is it going? I hope everything is fine. Today we are going to look at the problem, solution, and advice. It reminds me of a little chocolate. I ate my chocolate. God damn it, I want more. Anyways, that's my problem, and I will find a solution by myself. Don't worry about that. Let's see your problem. The Fool. How could it be the problem? I mean, it's the solution itself, but King of Pentacles. I have something in my mind. All right. Now, I have to tell you this, what I felt from the beginning. Maybe you are in some kind of a rush. Hold on. I have to open the light. Okay, I think it's better, right? I needed a little bit more light. Maybe you feel like you have to start something and you feel like you have to excel on that thing in day one. Maybe you're rushing yourself a little bit too much. Maybe you are just like pushing yourself a little bit too much. You have all the good expectations. You have this ambition. You have this power. You have this willpower, I mean. You would like to do all the good things. Maybe you have a really good project in your mind. You would like to start something new. And you feel really, really hopeful about that. And there's no such problem at all that you cannot see right now. And you feel like, why I am not really successful? Maybe because you're rushing yourself a little bit too much. You know, from Joker to King of Pentacles, there's a lot of things that you have to see. Maybe lack of experience is the problem. Maybe you are just like expecting and expecting and expecting, and you are not seeing any kind of a result at this specific moment because you're rushing it. Again, I have to repeat it. Sometimes I have to repeat it. You are just like expecting really good things, and good things are going to happen. Don't get me wrong, but in time, in the right kind of a time. And sometimes you cannot just rush it. Sometimes you shouldn't rush it. Those kind of things might be really important. In another case, I have to say that there's another person who is thinking that they know better than you. For example, you are like not really having any kind of a joy by eating, I don't know, like let's say strawberry. You hate strawberries, okay? You don't like to eat it. Let's say in that way. You don't like to consume it. And there's another person who is just like buying strawberries even though they know that you don't like to eat it. And they're buying in like chunks. They are buying like kilograms of strawberries. And they're saying that this is good for you. I mean, it could be good for you, but you don't want that. You know? That kind of a feeling that I am having. Somebody thinks they do know better than you. Somebody thinks they can do all the things for you. Somebody thinks that they can, interfere with everything you have. And you don't like that idea. You would like to do everything by yourself from scratch. And when you are just like having that kind of a feeling, I can do it, I want to do it by myself, you are just rushing yourself a little bit too much. If you are going to have any kind of dealings with a dragon, King of Pentacles is a dragon, you don't just like get your sword and go in front of that. That would be not really wise. You have to understand the disadvantages of the dragon. You have to cut their resources and then you deal with them in time. And you don't give yourself that time. You're just being so like out there, like you think that maybe you can do it by yourself, you can do it with a really good way. Even though you feel you are hopeful and you're courageous enough to do that, sometimes it is not really that good enough. You have to have the excellence of it and you have to give yourself a little time. This problem is Whatever it is, it could be about love, it could be about work, it could be about family. You need time. Time. It is so important. Let's see your solution. Star healing. I hate to see my star card like this, but this is what YouTube wants. And Three of Pentacles. Do you know what I felt when I look at those two? At number one, it was like they're supposed to do something by themselves, but they have to take the pride of it. For you, I think you need a little bit help from other people, and you have to find a way to deal with other people. You have to heal the relations with the other people around you. You have to understand the necessity of the other people and what they can actually provide. You have to be a team member of a certain situation. You have to share the responsibilities, and you have to understand what is happening. There's an involvement of like right kind of a people. For argument's sake, again, let's just talk about this dragon, okay? You have to deal with this dragon. You shouldn't do it by yourself. You need someone else. Like imagine the Hobbit book, okay? There was not just one person who was just like dealing with that. It took like a lot of people. It took like a group of people of 13, a lot of dwarves, one hobbit, and like a whole village of Dale. You know, do you remember the story? It took a lot of things. They needed an archer. They needed weapons, they needed a thief, they needed everything, and they worked together one way or another. I mean, they worked together, and they took down the dragon in this way. Sometimes you have to work with the right kind of people. You have to find your alliance. You have to find the people that you can actually trust. You have to heal the relationships with the people. If you have like some friendships that are not really so great at this specific moment, I think you have to heal your friendships first. Saying sorry or healing a relationship, healing a friendship, even though you don't feel sorry about that situation, it takes a little time too, you know? And if you did something wrong, and if you feel like I have to do something about it, go for it. But if you feel like somebody else wronged you, talking about it and having some kind of a negotiation, talking about the situation, having a debate, it also has some kind of a time. You know, it doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in that way. I think you have to give yourself a little time. That is all. Whatever that is. Love, if you just like have this hopeful situation and you would like to just jump into it, just give yourself a little time. If you feel like this person is the only person, this person is the person, just give yourself a little time. Don't rush. Do not rush. Give yourself a little time and heal the situation first, and then you can act on it. As the advice, we have two major arcana again. At number one, it was like that too. I promise I didn't plan that thing. Advice, there's a magician and there's a world. You have the fool, the magician, and the world. Do you know what it says? Sometimes from the beginning to the end, you have to excel. You know, I'm just going to talk about those three for a second. The fool is talking about the possibilities and the environment and the situation going on, the opportunities even. The magician is the person who is dealing with all those kind of things, okay? The magician is, this magician knows what they have to do, okay? So they can have all the accomplishments in their life. You know, from the fool to the world, you have a lot of things, a lot of major arcana, but the first, you have to know what you have to do. This is what it says, you know, in general, and you have all those cards now. What I can say, give yourself a little time so you can actually learn and grow, so you can have a better situation for yourself, better ground for yourself. Some problems require some amount of time so they can actually grow into this position, so they can be solved. There is a time for you to wait. There is a time for you to learn. There is a time for you to work on some specific things so you can have your solution, so you can have the results that you are asking for. It could be about anything. But whatever that is, when you are having it, you have to be careful about what you are doing, okay? Don't do it by yourself. Take the help of other people and excel on everything, learn and grow and heal the situation, heal the process, and then you are going to have your solution. That is for sure. And you will have it. You will have it. You will come to this point from the Joker. When I'm saying Joker, by the way, guys, in Turkish this is called Joker. That's why. Sorry about that. This is the Fool. Something like from the Fool to the World, you will have everything, but you have to give yourself time to solve the things first. That is all. That is definitely all. You know, you don't need anything else to hear actually. That's what I saw for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye! Hello number 3, how is it going? I hope everything is fine. Today we are going to look at the problem, solution, and advice. Let's see your problem first. 6 of Cups. Okay. And 10 of Pentacles. How intriguing. You know, it's kind of weird to see the good cards as like the problem. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But it says quite a lot. That's the best part of the tarot. We could talk about all the things, good or bad. Your problem might be related to a family situation. I see children, I see elderlies, there's an age gap, generational differences maybe. Some people are thinking in one way and the others are thinking in another way. Even though everybody wants the good things for their family, even though they think like if I do this everybody is going to be happy, it doesn't make people happy because they're just like doing it in their own way. Maybe it is just like a maybe. Some people are just like, I know the best for my family, I know the best for the people that I love, my friends, my friend circle, I don't know, anything, my lover, I don't know, you name it. But the way that they're approaching to things can be damaging, because whatever I see, you know, I see help, I see all the people together. What I see is like a gathered people in a circle, but what I don't see is an individuality. I don't see the individuality, and it could be the problem. Maybe you want to do things by yourself. Maybe you think that you would like to try something else. If there's any kind of a problem, everyone else is just like jumping to the conclusion, and they think they can do something so much better, and they don't let you do the things by yourself. And they're doing all those kind of things with the good intentions, under the name of good intentions at least, and you cannot get crossed with them as well. It could be like that. This is just like one way of just reading the cards. Or in a family unit, you feel like you are being taken advantage of one way or another. Maybe they take advantage of your money. Maybe they make you work a little bit more and they ask a little bit more. They just expect you to deal with things more. And you give and give and give because this is your family, right? And you give everything. You give your work, you give your money, you give your health, you give your time, you give your sleep. And they take and take and take, and it is not enough. And this is the another way of reading it. But whatever it is, I don't know why, I didn't want to read it as like a company who is just trying to take advantage of you, or a friend, just like a single friend, or maybe a relationship who is taking advantage of you. No. They are doing the things under the good intentions. They are saying the things under the good intentions. And they can break your heart, honestly. It is not really that great at that specific moment. Even though everybody wants the good things, even though everybody is just like preaching, like the family is taking care of each other. Family is here for everybody. You know, the people you love is here for everybody. I'm here for you. I'm there for you. But they're not. You don't feel it. You feel like this is a little bit one-sided, maybe. And you would like to deal with these kind of things without breaking any hearts. And it could be a little difficult. If this is like a friendship or a relationship situation, maybe you don't feel like this person is trying to take advantage of you, but they're just like being a little overbearing. But if it is just like a family, then it means they're taking advantage of you. I'm sorry, but I had to say that. If it is not really resonating, please pick something else, because it could be a little heavy. Now let's see your solution, so we can actually talk about the whole situation as one. Page of Swords and 4 of Pentacles. Page of Swords and Four of Pentacles. How intriguing. Do you know what it reminds me of? Somebody who is watching from outside. Somebody who's just like taking care of the things, but from a distance. They are not really involved. They are not really involved. I don't know how to explain it. This guy is talking about involvement, like in every possible way. But I don't know how to explain it. But let me just put it in this way. If you are living in somewhere else, if you have some kind of a distance with those people, you could actually do so much more. And they would actually cherish what you do more. If you're not sharing all the details of your personal things, for example, if you are not just like talking all the time, if you are not sharing your expectations or what you like or what you would like to see in your life, etc. I mean, you just name it, okay? Whatever that is. And also, you are just like dealing with their problems, if they have any. Do you need anything? And they say, yes, can you just do this and that? Oh, yeah, of course I can do that. In my own time, if I have the time. It is going to be more appreciated. They're going to see the true value of what you're doing. Right now, maybe you're too close to each other. And it is creating some kind of a power dynamic. It is not really that healthy. But if you're like staying away from a situation and if you're just like watching things from, from somewhere else, and you are just like dealing with the things when it is like necessary and when it is like expected at the very late moment, for example, it could be a little bit more effective. You shouldn't be the one who is rushing to the situation at first. You should be the one who is being taken care of. Do you know what it reminds me of? A child who is trying to take care of everything in the family, and this child is feeling guilty when the things are not really in a really good position. But this child is supposed to be taken care of. This child shouldn't do the things for their family. The family should take care of their child. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. And if you are doing and doing and doing, and the others are just like expecting and expecting and expecting, it is not really a great thing. They should be the one who is taking care of you. They should be the one who is doing all those kind of things for you. Not you. Of course you would like to see the nice things for your family. Of course you would like to help your family in any possible way. But it shouldn't be taken as like a guaranteed situation. It shouldn't be like in the pocket. They're going to do this for us anyways. They shouldn't feel like it. They shouldn't think like that. They shouldn't rely on you on that. Okay? Be careful with dealing with other people and their troubles. And you should just like put some kind of a distance with them. Let's say your advice. You see, doing too much, like, doesn't have anything else to say. Nine of Wands. And also some kind of a boundary. Do you see that? Some kind of a boundary. It's enough. This person is saying enough. From the face, look at this. Like, this guy says it's enough. It is enough. You have to admit when it is enough. And the other card is Lovers. I feel like literally somebody is taking advantage of a situation because they use this connection with you. Yeah, we are family. Yeah, we are this and that. Lovers, in the advice part, it says that you have to prioritize other things. You have options. You have to seek the right kind of an option for you, no one else but you. You will have choices in life. When it comes to dealing with other stuff, you are the one who is choosing your priority, and you have to choose from other options. It literally says, if there are like, for argument's sake, it's going to be really stupid, I know, but I'm going to say it anyways. 3 troubles in front of you. You have the choice from all those 3. And you can just like get rid of the other 2 because you are not choosing them. So whatever you are just like looking at, whatever that you are choosing as like a priority, making sure that it is related to you but no one else. Choose carefully. This is what it says. Choose carefully. Be careful when you're choosing those kind of things. When you are spending your energy You know, what kind of a thing that you're spending your energy for. You have to take care of those kind of things. You have to understand it, what you're dealing with. And at the beginning, it could be a little difficult because, you know, everybody is just like dealing with like the good intentions and everybody is doing the right kind of thing. They believe that they do the right kind of thing. And breaking those kind of beliefs and creating your own boundaries could be a little difficult. But when you do that, it is going to be more valuable. Whatever you do, it is going to be more valuable, and they're going to cherish it more. They're going to like it more. They're going to understand the hardship. They're going to see that as much as you do. That's what I saw for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye!